Hardy brothers. Ken Arthurson will never forget the tumultuous beginnings.
Well, as you can imagine, Max, the hot favourite, although easing a little on course, but he's still odds on, is number 1 Magic of Sydney at $1.50. If we see the real Magic of Sydney, he should win. Our banker at $13. Ebony Grove, I think he's the hardest to beat. He's coming in towards $8 now and might come in a bit further yet. Dual Dilemma, Darren Beedman's mount, is at $5.50. Toledo, $17. Dibbles Dane, $31. Number 7, Don Tristram, ridden by Harry Troy, so we can't cross to Harry behind the barrier this time, at $26. Truly Halo, $51. And Sharp Lord and Super Steam are both roughies. Now, Dual Dilemma has come down from Queensland. He's had 2 starts in Sydney for 2 wins. He's trained by Greg Mance up on the Gold Coast, and Andrew Voss caught up with Greg earlier in the day.
Well, Greg, down from the Gold Coast the past month in Sydney has been very good for you in Dual Dilemma.
Yeah, we've had a bit of luck to date. Let's hope it continues.
Well, what about it? Chasing 5 straight wins, it's been the right progression through the grades. Every time just kept improving.
The horse seems to keep improving. He's done exceptionally well and looks a treat, and we hopefully hope he can go on and make it 5 in a row.
Well, obviously you're hoping that we haven't yet seen the best of Dual Dilemma, but have we?
I don't think you have. I think you'll see the best of him today.
Right, Greg, and just finally, Darren Beedman still sitting on 999 winners. All the more for Dual Dilemma to win.
I'd love to be able to give him his 1,000th win. That would make it even better.
Good on you, Greg. Good luck.
Thank you.
Simon, I see it as Magic of Sydney from Ebony Grove. What say you?
Yeah, I don't know whether I like agreeing with you or not, Ken, but I'm going to. I thought Ebony Grove looked very good in the mounting yard. There we see Magic of Sydney on camera. By Danehill, another one of the Danehills that's out of the box. He's a class colt, and he's going to take some beating. He's just eased a little bit in the betting, so that may give an indication that people aren't as keen on him as they were when they came here. Ebony Grove, I thought, looked very well, and I'm going to give our little man, Harry Troy, an outside chance on Don Tristram at odds to run into a place.
Well, rumours on racecourses aren't worth 2 bob, but there have been stories that a lot of people haven't thought Magic of Sydney's worked as well, and that's probably why he's eased. He certainly looks okay, and so does his jockey Shane Dye. Tactics will be important in this race. We spoke to leading jockey Darren Beedman earlier about the sort of tactics in a classic Group 1 race from the Randwick 2,000 metres.
Well, this Spring Champion Stakes has turned out a fine kettle of 3-year-old colts and geldings. It's over 2,000 metres and barriers are of little importance. We've got horses like Magic of Sydney and Dual Dilemma and Don Tristram that'll be probably racing in the forward bunch. But be looking out for Ebony Grove down the outside with a barnstorming run.
Well, $1.60 now on the tote Magic of Sydney. Bookies are even more generous. Dual Dilemma, Darren Beedman's mount, is better with bookies than the tote, but on the tote he's showing $5.40, and Ebony Grove, who's second favourite in the ring, is showing at $7.60 now on the TAB. There's Truly Halo, ridden by Len Beasley. Simon, you won't have heard much of this kid, but he's going to make a jockey. He's just about 20 years of age now. He was our leading apprentice. He really can ride.
Yeah, there's certainly big raps on him, and look, it's good to see a young kid like this on Epsom Day here in Sydney, which is a big day where all the big jockeys fly to it, and he has a full book of rides. He has a full book of 8 rides. Now, that is a fair compliment to the young man on his ability.
It sure is, and just going past there on that chestnut horse was our old mate Harry Troy. But as I said, we can't throw to Harry this race. There is... that was actually Ebony Grove going forward. Dibbles Dane's over there in the green with the white stripe, I suppose you'd call it, over there on the back of the screen. Now he's in centre screen. Dibbles Dane from the Bart Cummings stable. Okay, Mick Dittman's not riding today, as you know. He was outed after his ride on Amber at Randwick last Saturday, but he still makes plenty of news, and Andrew Voss has just caught up with Mick.
Well, Mick, I guess this is the toughest of days. Frustrating being sidelined.
Yes, it's never easy, especially when you've missed some good mounts, which I have today. I just missed the previous winner, King Ivor. It would have been on him. And the previous race, I was probably going to ride Pennies, but John Hawkes offered me the ride on it, so only just got beat. No, we had a good book of mounts today, so no, disappointing. But can't do anything about it. You've got to sit and watch.
Now, Mick, the situation with a jockey coming in like Brian York on Volante, would it be the norm for him to have a chat with you? It's the first time he's been on Volante.
Look, he's a field-proof horse to ride. He's just a little touchy in the barrier, that's all. And, you know, I hope to sort of have a little word to him before he goes out. You just got to be a bit careful of him in the boxes. he's, you know, he's very, very sensible, but, you know, he can get touchy in the gates.
All right, Mick, one last thing on a different note. Shane Dye is getting around today with no voice. Is that a good or bad thing?
Probably good for his jockeys in there, for his jockey mates. Keep him a bit quiet.
He was still able to whisper to me and say his golf's still good. He's getting all your cash.
Yeah, it hasn't slipped.
Good on you, Mick.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that was the enforcer, Mick Dittman, talking to Andrew Voss. Okay, they've started to for the Spring Champion Stakes. Next up there in the blue and green stripes will be Magic of Sydney. And if you're looking for Ebony Grove, the second favourite is in white and green check. And Jewel Dilemma races in yellow with red stars and pale blue sleeves. Only a small field, 10 runners. They're all taking their place in the 1996 Spring Champion Stakes. In the very first Champion Stakes, Gay Icarus beat Baguette and Gunsin. So it's sure a race with plenty of tradition and plenty of quality horses that have run in it. Okay, they're about ready to go. Here's John Tapp.
Starter hits the button and they're off and running. A good start, and Dual Dilemma's about the first out. Magic of Sydney is away quickly, so is Dibbles Dane. Super Steam began well but is now easing back, and there's Don Tristram going up into second place. Magic of Sydney's going to cross and lead here, and at the end of 250, Magic of Sydney found the fence to lead by 3/4 of a length to Don Tristram, who arches the neck in second place. He's going to sleep. Running third, Dual Dilemma, Dibbles Dane on the outside of him. A length and a half then to Sharp Lord, who's over racing on the outside of Super Steam. 2 lengths away, Truly Halo on the outside of Ebony Grove, and the last couple, Toledo pulling, and Our Banker on his inside, and about 9 lengths covers them. Down the back past the 1400 mark, the paces muddling, and Don Tristram allowed more rain, took a narrow lead over Magic of Sydney, and Dibbles Dane now goes up to second. Magic of Sydney relegated to third. 2 lengths away is Sharp Lord. There's Toledo, who's been pulling hard, allowed to stride around them 3 deep, followed by Dual Dilemma, Super Steam. Here comes another one, Truly Halo. You've never seen a race like it. Further back is Ebony Grove, and Our Banker is last as they come up to the top turn. They've got 900 metres to go, and Don Tristram is in front by a length to Dibbles Dane. Toledo moving to third, Magic of Sydney fourth. Truly Halo travelling deep on the outside of Sharp Lord. Dual Dilemma got shuffled back into the field, followed by Super Steam. Ebony Grove in all sorts of bother, and Our Banker is back at the tail as they come to the 600 metres mark in the Champion Stakes, and now they're sprinting. It's Don Tristram on the inside, drawing clear of Toledo. Magic of Sydney into the clear, tracking them into the straight, followed by Dibbles Dane. Dual Dilemma held up for a run briefly. Further back then is Sharp Lord, followed by Truly Halo, and Ebony Grove is giving them a big start as they turn for home. Over the rise, Don Tristram, the leader. Magic of Sydney is about to canter into second place, followed by Toledo, and Dual Dilemma with the last shot at the Magic of Sydney, swept to the lead at the 200 over Don Tristram. Ebony Grove about to burst out of the pack. Dual Dilemma's there too. Magic of Sydney the leader. Ebony Grove is coming after him with Dual Dilemma. Magic of Sydney is just in front as they hit the line. I reckon he just lasted. Magic of Sydney, I'd say, a breath to Ebony Grove in a head bobber. It's close. Dual Dilemma third, followed by Dibbles Dane, Toledo. Out the head of the others, Truly Halo. Then Don Tristram, Sharp Lord, Super Steam, and Our Banker last in the Spring Champion Stakes.
Well, Shane Dye and Magic of Sydney have just prevailed. If you've backed at $1.60, $1.20. Ebony Grove couldn't sprint when they sprinted. He got through inside of Dual Dilemma, dived at the favourite on the line. I don't think he's quite got him. They hit the post there. Oh, boy, it's close. There's nothing in it, but I think you'll find just Magic of Sydney, but the margin will only be a nose or a half ahead. $1.60 at Magic of Sydney and $1.20. Second, Ebony Grove, number 3, will pay $1.50, but it's not official, mind you. And third, number 4, Dual Dilemma, will pay $1.50. Now, that's Ebony Grove in the green colours in the centre of the second grouping, pushing between horses. Magic of Sydney in front. Gee whiz, if he has won, the winning post just come up in time. Shane Dye's getting stuck into him. Ebony Grove is starting to dive on the outside. The other horse, Dual Dilemma, can't do any better, and they hit the post, and number 1 has won, and it's now official. Magic of Sydney by a breath from Ebony Grove. Oh boy, isn't it close? You look at it there. Oh, he only needed another half a stride. There's the winner, Magic of Sydney. Shane Dye with the whip in the right hand. He's keeping him going. You'll see the horse in the green and white check. He was held up for a run. He gets between horses. Gee whiz, he's a stayer, this horse. He'd come at Magic of Sydney, but the winning post beat him. Had come just a touch too close. He sprouted wings, but just not in time. And Magic of Sydney's won from Ebony Grove. If you've got the Quinella, $4.20 for the pair of them. And Dual Dilemma, Darren Beedman's mount, has run third. Something else is that, oh boy, the second horse's head has just come down at the right time, and the margins were a short half head by 3/4 of a length. Now, looking at head on, Truly Harlow's had enough in the yellow colours. Going to the lead is Magic of Sydney in the blue cap and the blue and green sleeves, and there in the green and white checks with the green armbands and the green cap is Ebony Grove. He pushes, you can just see the blue sleeves of Dual Dilemma on his outside. Now, Magic of Sydney, full bore in front. Cooksley's going hands and heels on Ebony Grove. He goes for the whip again. I didn't think he was going to get as close as he did, but by golly, he got particularly close, and the winning post just loomed up in time for Magic of Sydney. The official numbers, as I said, are 1, 3, 4, and as we see them from your left to your right, it's Magic of Sydney, a Group 1 winner, the Shane Dye and Gay Waterhouse, second Ebony Grove, and third Dual Dilemma. And Shane Dye, who's been wasting to ride in the next race where he'll be riding Adventurous in the Craven Plate, looks rather worn out after what was a classic ride, an excellent ride by Shane Dye. John Jeffs, the clerk of the course, led the horse back. He's handed it over to the Magic of Sydney's connections, and that's Tony Weng, the senior part owner of Magic of Sydney, who has got the lead as the course comes through the AJC Spring Carnival banner. And Mr. Weng raises his fist in salute, and Gay Waterhouse is on the offside of the winner, Magic of Sydney. And he really is magic, this horse. He's only raced 9 times now for 4 wins, and today's first prize money of $238,000 takes him to about $430,000 overall in prize money. And bookies, well, you'll be rather surprised. I think I can tell you without giving the secrets away, he was only just in the red with bookies. You could have laid 5 on to win 4, which was turned out better than the TAB prices. There's Leslie Dennett, Gay's race day foreman, holding Magic of Sydney there in the blue suit alongside of the strapper, and there's Shane Dye going back with a couple of the pressmen. Jamie Steer on the left, one of the stewards, and the red-headed man is Ray Thomas, turf editor of the Telegraph, and Dye will go in to weigh out after being successful in another Group 1 race, and the victory had no small amount to do with Dye's brilliant riding. He really did ride a great race when the rhythm of the race stopped and started, changed and hopped, and he was up to it, and he got Magic of Sydney into the clear at the right time, dashed him clear, and had enough strength, despite all that wasting, to snare victory. Okay, Simon O'Donnell's over there with Gay Waterhouse.
Gay, he's a real stayer, isn't he?
Oh, he's an outstanding horse. He's the most beautiful horse. Hasn't run for 3 weeks, and he's just so beautifully balanced. He led for the first 2 furlongs, and then he went to sleep in the race, almost too much to sleep, that at the half-mile Shane had to rattle him up. And then he got on the bit again, and he beat a very, very good horse, the horse that ran second. Shane Dye's wasted to ride 49 kilos on Adventurous, and when I led the horse, and I was really worried. I thought Shane was going to collapse on us.
He didn't have his own. It was a very mixed-up run race, wasn't it?
Often these sort of races are but I thought that the horse has shown his superiority over his rivals.
That superiority, I mean, I suppose it shows because he can run at any pace now. He can lead, run midfield, and come home for you.
He's a beautiful horse. He's so well balanced. He's just a gorgeous horse. He really is.
Good luck for the rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gay.
If I owned him or trained him, I'd think he looked gorgeous too, and he was just a bit short perhaps for you to back, but I think you'll admit that he's a bit of a racehorse, and I think so too as the minor place getters, or both of them, Ebony Grove and Dual Dilemma. And Magic of Sydney parades for us as we go for another break on today's special racing edition of the Wide World of Sports.
Who was Paddy?
Back live at Randwick on a beautiful Epsom day, terrific crowd. We've seen fashions in the field, we've seen some terrific racing, and don't forget the big one coming up later this afternoon on Wide World of Sports, the Epsom Handicap, and Gay Waterhouse has got 4 runners in that. She had a runner in the last race, and boy, didn't she do very, very well. Magic of Sydney, a terrific horse, and picked off the winner in the last race, which was, of course, the Spring Champion Stakes. So Magic of Sydney paid $1.60 and $1.20. Ebony Grove paid $1.50, and Dual Dilemma, number 4, $1.50, the New South Wales dividends. $5,000. Now that would be...
Well, there we go. Magic of Sydney. Now let's watch Gay Waterhouse, Simon.
Yes, well, I would imagine she's going to be pretty exuberant about all this. She can see he's still a great chance. Ebony Grove coming. They're just past the post, and Gay is a very happy lady. Look at her. There we are, and the owners are very happy too. Why shouldn't they be? That was a ripper win from a horse, Ken, I think can nearly run any distance you want. I think he'll go to sleep for you in the big races, and I'm talking about the Derby, and he's going to be very hard to beat.
Don't you be surprised if he also runs in the Caulfield Cup. Pretty tough young horse, and Gay's father Tommy used to love good 3-year-olds in the Caulfield Cup. The last one he won with was Mighty Kingdom.
I won't rule anything out with the Waterhouse family. I think they're one of